Hey, so I am trying this. This is like my third take, okay? Literally. I've tried to record this video twice on my phone. My phone is full apparently, and so I guess that means that I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to empty it, and so I can't record. And once I figure that out, I'll be back in action. But for now, I'm going to try to do this on my computer. This is my first time doing this way, so please bear with me. Um, but hey, welcome to Muse and Magic 1111. Thanks for stopping by my channel for yet another deep dive into the twin flame journey. Um, I just felt called to do this reading tonight, actually for my divine masculines. We're going to kind of dive in. I've already shuffled and laid out the cards, and in all honesty, I had to take a picture of it, of the layout, because I literally thought I wasn't going to be able to do this until I thought, oh, wait a minute, let me go and see if I can figure out how to record on my computer. Um, I have an iPhone, so it's like, I don't know. I'm just not sure how to. I thought I've cleared it and emptied all these videos and pictures and things like that. I've emptied a lot of the videos from my YouTube and everything, and it's just still not freeing up the storage space. So I don't know what I'm doing incorrectly, but I will figure that out. However, the reason why I'm even saying this is because everything is a part of the reading. So by this even being my third take, my third try to even get this message out to you guys, it just kind of tells me that somebody has a message that they need to get out. But, you know, things, or they've been wanting to say something, maybe wanting to come forward, maybe wanting to confess something or profess something. And there's been obstacles, there's been things that have been going awry or going wrong, so to speak. And so it has caused a bit of stagnancy or lag time or whatever in these people or this person coming forward. But my message to you, whoever you are, if you are the divine feminine or divine masculine, is to not give up, you know, as I did not do today, right? I started to. I took a picture. I'm like, hey, maybe I'll just record this at a later date when my phone kind of just works itself out. But then I just had a bright idea to get a little bit more creative. And so, again, I've never done this on my computer, but I am trying it for the first time tonight. And this might be the way that I go from here on out. If I figure it correctly. Okay. So, messages coming through. That's just what Spirit gives me. I'm intuiting right now before I get into the cards. Um, I do feel like there's been a lot of yearning for a soulmate, soul partner. That does not mean that, you know, this divine masculine or feminine is not already in another situation, but it just, I do feel like there is a constant draw or yearning for divine twins to come together for some. Particularly you guys, if you're watching this video, you probably feel this. You feel this pull kind of in your heart space, this heart area. It's like a constant tugging. That's the best way. It's an energetic thing, but just a constant kind of pull or tug. Maybe you guys have been thinking about each other quite often. Divine masculine thinking about the divine feminine and vice versa. And if divine feminines, you are, you know, feeling or noticing that you just kind of can't get your divine masculine off your mind, it is highly possible that divine masculine is thinking about you, because sometimes people, when they're meditating on you, thinking about you a lot, especially if you're empathic, but you don't have to even know what that even means when you're on this journey. You know, you guys are connected. I mean, you are the mirror half of one another, mirrored souls, so to speak. Some would even say or believe that you are split souls, right? Two halves of the same soul. Um, and I just leave that up, you know, for everyone's interpretation, because, you know, there is also the belief that there are no specific, you know, twin flames, that, you know, the whole universe is our soulmate. And so, you know, can there really be twin flames when everyone is, you know, someone we've experienced before in this simulation, right? Um, and have maybe contracted with or decided to come back and learn from or teach or, whatever, this lifetime. So, I'm not going to get too deep into that. I know what I believe, and I do believe that there's something very special about the twin flame connection, because if you're on this journey, you know what it feels like to be able to connect telepathically with your twin. Um, you know what it feels like when you're together. It's just something that you have not felt, I'm sure, with any other soul on this planet. Okay? Just certain things are just kind of unexplicable. And so, again, this connection, um, to me, okay, is very real. So, regardless of the various ways people can kind of break things down and, debate about the journey, there is something very special, very real about it, for those of us experiencing it. Okay, so let's just get started. First things first, I wanted to kind of dive into the divine masculine's energy and the general energies of what divine masculine may be experiencing at this time, or what divine masculines may be going through. And so the first card that came up was Jester. And the Jester is typically the fool, right? Um, I feel like, in this particular reading, this really just represents someone who is full of life, full of animated, you know, um, like an animated character, like someone who can be very funny, who can be the life of the party, someone who, in their own right is very attractive. Like, even if, and I mean this more personality wise, but also physically attractive, who just has a very unique, a very different look, a very unique look about themselves. But that is the attractiveness, right? Um, Someone who has swagger, right? But also someone who can manipulate the certain outcome of people's reactions to them, because they have this big personality. And when I say big, I don't mean that it has to be out there and very, flamboyant or anything. I just mean that this person, when you're around someone who has a good sense of humor, who can make people laugh even when they're not trying, just saying something funny because it's a real thing, but it just, sometimes real life is funny. Someone who can kind of talk people down and change the tone of a room or a space, because they know how to take it light. They know how to not take life so seriously. And I feel like this shows up for divine masculines, because I feel like you have not been, you know, your normal self. I feel like life has been happening. Maybe there's been a lot of turmoil. There's been a lot going on in life, a lot of tower moments, a lot of dark night of the soul, energy or whatever. And so a lot of shadow work being done, lessons coming up for you, in the form of your relationships, maybe personal and or business, uh, familial, right? And so life has been happening. And while life has been happening, you have been unable to go to that space of being able to just laugh about it, laugh at yourself, or just laugh heartily. That's what Spirit is telling me, right? Just really just have fun, like you used to. I feel like you just feel like everything is just, go, 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 go. And I got to do this. And before you can celebrate one accomplishment, it's like you're on to the next, or you're constantly trying to get to that achievement, whatever that is, that dream, that goal, that whatever. And then it's the next thing, right? Um, I also have the swan here, and the swan basically is a card. It always reminds me of the ugly duckling story, where, the swan didn't know that it was a swan. Initially, it was very ugly and unattractive to those ducklings or ducks that were around, because they did not know who the swan was. They didn't know what it was or who it was. They just knew that it was different. And that's why I say this jester energy, right, is someone with swagger, someone with personality, someone who looks very unique, but that is the attraction. That is what makes them very attractive. And this is about remembering who you are, waking up to who you are, which I do feel like is something that's going on across the globe, okay, with twin flame energies, with these divine masculine energies, just really waking up and remembering who you are, remembering, almost like remembering or starting to remember what you came here to do, what you came here to accomplish, what you came here to learn and work out, okay, in 4D. And also recognizing that you are not a chicken, you're not an ugly duckling, you're an eagle. Okay, even though eagle is not in this card, it's a swan, but it's the same type of story, right? The chicken was, I mean, the eagle was down there pecking like and acting like a chicken because it did not know, right? Maybe it hatched with the chickens, and so all the chickens was calling the hen mama, you know what I'm saying? So it's thinking that it's a hen too, not realizing that it looked very different, and maybe it was considered ugly, you know. However, when eagles saw the king of the sky, right, these other eagles flying above, and everyone was just paying, just paying reverence to this king of the sky, eventually one day eagle started flapping its wings, and then it took off, and then it realized, hey, I too can fly. I'm an eagle. And all this time I thought I was a chicken, but I'm really an eagle, So it's just like this discovery, this self-discovery that's been happening. And for divine masculine, and I just see rabbit hole, or, you know, follow the white rabbit, like, Neo in the Matrix, right? So just really coming into your own, but it's come at a cost, right? It's come from from life happening, from you having to go through a dark night of the soul or deal with some of your shadow shit, right? So, and then I also feel like masculines view your divine feminine as a beautiful swan, right? Someone who's very attractive, very graceful, and maybe quirky, in their own right at times, but just very graceful, very mannerable, very, very like like it's effortless for them to be beautiful. It's effortless for them to be graceful. It's effortless for them to just kind of glide across the water, right? You know what I mean? Just dance across the water and just be swan, right? So that is your perception also of the divine feminine. Now, um, there's also this longing, I think I said that, but this longing for um, divine masculine to come together with divine feminine. Like someone's longing for someone, or maybe you're both longing for one another, because here we have the Lover's card. And these two people are very much in love. You can tell that there's intimacy, true intimacy here, true unconditional love. Um, Someone really loves being close, loves being kissed. Um, I feel like I want to say slowly and deeply. Someone's just yearning for a true relationship. Almost spirit is almost telling me like yearning to come home, yearning for a place like home, right? For what feels like home. And I feel like that's why maybe this swan also shows up, because while this masculine has a sense of humor and can be quite the jester, the divine feminine is always very graceful and helps to help him feel um, grounded and beautiful, and kind of just helps him to remember who he is, and also you know when I think about water, I think about reflection. So it's like you are one another's reflection, and your divine feminine is definitely your reflection. And you know that everything that is graceful and beautiful about your divine feminine is what you see and notice that because it's in yourself. You're just now awakening to that, though, okay? Or she awakens the best part of you. So yeah, there's a longing here to come together, the lovers. Yeah, someone's really thinking um, a lot on how you guys used to interact together, or what love making looked like and felt like with the two of you. Okay. We also have the knight here. The knight is about being very armed, right, and guarded and protective. I feel like this is a masculine who is very protective over this relationship, over the divine feminine um, energy. So much until maybe I feel like it's unspoken, like so much until you just that divine masculine doesn't probably speak much about the relationship or the connection, or tends to hide it in some way. Also, I feel like the knight represents a knight coming in, a knight in shining armor. Maybe coming in. There's no white horse, but I just get this feeling of this knight riding in on a white horse, right? Coming to save the day, coming with an important message. Um, Coming in from battle, feeling like you've been in an all out war, but just coming towards this lover energy, coming towards this swan. Wow, man. And then wild. Okay. This card depicts fire in the background, so this divine feminine could be a fire sign, masculine, you could be a fire sign. This woman could just be a very fiery woman, someone you deem very fiery, very, like tell it like it is, give it to you straight, no chaser. Um, Slow to anger, but when she's angry, oh my God, you do not want to feel her wrath. You know what I'm saying? Just that kind of thing. But she's also a wild woman. She bows down to no one. She is definitely alpha in her own right. Um, she has wild animals for pets, you know. Now maybe this divine feminine may actually have a cat. This is a wild cat, but maybe you consider her a wild cat, but she is a wild woman, someone who would ride a horse bareback. You know what I mean? Like a very sexy, sensual, fiery woman who is, I almost want to say, kind of can she's very much Oshun, but she can very much be Oya, um, you know, very much a river goddess, right? In her ebb and flow, but she can also be the storm goddess, right? Um, when you take her there, when you anger her, when anger arises, Um, but she can also be very yemaya, very mothering, very nurturing. She could tame. This woman tamed you. Yeah, she tamed you. Maybe you were the wildcat. You were the wild one, and she makes you feel tamed, right? You want to follow her. You want to purr next to her. You want to. Wow, this is so interesting. Yeah. Um, and she does this effortlessly. I have to keep saying that, okay? So, what worries you? What's worrying you, masculine? Okay? Looks like water. I almost want to say, because water is about reflection. Water is also about, okay, this could also be, we already said this could include a fire sign, but this could be a water sign, divine feminine, or maybe masculine. You're the water sign in this situation, but, you know, water is very soothing. It could be very mesmerizing. However, what is worrying you is the fact that I almost want to say, and there's no bridge in this picture, but I almost want to say, like, is there too much water under the bridge? You know what I'm saying? Um, Maybe the water is very significant here. Again, this could be a water sign. Feminine, this could be, Water represents something you got to you guys. Um, Now this looks bigger than a pool, so this could be like ocean, and so, that could be very significant. Um, Water also represents emotions. So yeah, that's starting to make a lot more sense. So it's almost like, and water is right beneath the swan who's also swimming on water. So there's a lot of water in this read anyhow. This is like, I just feel like I need some move, like, you know, ebb and flow. Like, there could be, the worry could be resistance. Is there going to be any resistance? Um, have I lost my magic touch? Is this connection being beneath the lovers is the wand, like a magic wand? Have I lost the magic touch? Do I still have the Midas touch? Do we still have chemistry and fire together? You know, do we still have magic together? And you know, is the magic still there? And then what do I do? Do I send a notice? Do I send a raven? Do I send a letter? Do I send an email or a text? Do I speak my truth with the letter? Okay, the letter is right beneath the knight. So remember I said I felt like there was like this knight in shining armor coming in on the white horse. And what that represents, even in tarot, the depiction is always like this knight on a horse, and it's like he's bringing news, right? So I feel like the worry here is whether or not you've done some reflecting. You wonder if there's still magic in this connection. Are you, I almost want to say, are you too late? Is it too late? Um, and should you speak up? Should you contact? Should you try to reach out? That's the worry. Okay. Um, so what are you thinking, masculine? This is going alongside of the worry. So, I feel like you're thinking about whether or not you've muddied this up too much with the mud card, right? Is it too murky? Have you murked it up, too much? You know, um, I almost feel like some of you feel like you feel dirty. You feel kind of like the way that everything went down, the way that everything transpired, maybe the way that you guys left one another or parted ways or whatever, was just very murky. It just wasn't really settled. It was muddied. It was soiled, sullied. I don't know. Okay. A fire comes up again. So again, this could definitely, you know, um, include some fire sign or just some fiery energy between the two of you. Like however things were left, there was some anger, maybe there was some fiery words that were exchanged or whatever. Um, but also, fire represents the fact that there is chemistry, that there is this fiery passion between the two of you, okay? So I just think that you're thinking on all of that, how everything kind of transpired, why it's no longer, a thing, why you're no longer together, and what happened to make, for you guys to, separate in the first place. And, you know, um, and you're thinking about, again, cosmic explosion. So this has a couple of different things that's coming up for me. Cosmic explosion is definitely about an awakening. I think masculines, you've been doing a little bit of work, going through a bit of an awakening. That typically happens when you're kind of going through this dark night of the soul and you've experienced some things. You know, it's funny because I literally just watched the Whitney Houston movie last evening and on Netflix, and or I Want to Dance with Somebody. And there was this one song that she turned down. She didn't want to do it. You know, she was like, "Oh, I would never do that." Blah 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 blah. And she was young. But years later, after she married Bobby Brown and, had some experiences with, um, I guess I'll say infidelity, disloyalty probably, whatever she felt, or brokenheartedness, whatever. She finally did that song, the many years later, and she was like, speaking to Clive Davis, like, yeah, I finally know what it means. So I just feel like that's definitely indicative of what this cosmic explosion kind of represents for you, divine masculines, is that, aha moments, hindsight is 2020, right? Um, Another thing, just kind of boom, going through this awakening, some third eye activity, right? Finally, a little bit of less calcification of that pineal gland, okay? Um, and also, the fact that the two of you together is like, the two of you together are a cosmic explosion. You are divinity, chaos, in order, all at once, right? I do definitely believe that the lovemaking was, um, this way, could be explained as a cosmic explosion when you guys come together, right? Very fiery and passionate. Um, so I just think you've been thinking of all of that, masculines, as you've been, pondering how to move forward in this particular connection, or if you should move forward, because maybe there's just a lot of different moving pieces right now, right? Whew. I don't know why this feels a little heavy. Like I just feel this constant meow in the heart pull, right? Um, so, what do you need to do moving forward, masculines? Well, um, first of all, you have the key. Now, when I first tried to record this video on my phone, of course, the first time, as I came across this card, my doorbell rang. Excuse me, not even the door. I heard a knock at my door, literally. And so I have the ring on my door, and so I, pulled up the camera, basically the live feed, and it was, my mom. So I like, pressed the microphone, and I'm like, "Hey, mom, you good?" Because I saw what I thought was her struggling to look for her keys. And she was like, "Yeah, I don't have my key. You gotta open the door." Ah, everything is a part of the reading. I told you, Spirit just be giving it to me the whole day long when I know I'm getting ready to do a reading. And it dawned on me, boom, because I'm like, well, how do I interpret this key right now? Um, and basically what I got from that was, you're wondering if you still have the key to Divine Feminine's heart. Have you forgotten the key? Have you been locked out? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's like knock and it shall be opened, right? You'll never know unless you knock if the door will be open for you. You know, just because you don't have the key does not mean you can't get in. All right? Um, and just slow down. I think this is, in a couple of ways you need to slow down, masculines, right? In life, remember with the gesture card, right? Take it light, laugh at yourself, watch a comedy, go do something fun, do something that makes you laugh. Um, Hang with friends that make you laugh. You need a good laugh. And Again, take it slow. This is the turtle card. So this is about really just taking it slow. And you might need to go into hermit mode for a bit if you aren't already there, right? Because they have those hard shells that when they feel attacked or, unsafe, they'll kind of tuck themselves into their shell, right? And so this is just kind of indicative of what, masculines really could do for themselves right now is just to really go quiet, kind of go into hermit mode, go into your little shell so that you can kind of regenerate, recuperate, rest, get a plan, you know. Because remember, a key can also be a almost like a map, right? Or a guide to helping you to navigate something or read something. You know what I'm saying? To figure out something, right? Um, and just to confirm about this hermit mode and, and just kind of slowing down and being present, um, is the monk card right next to that. And this is about meditation. This is about going inward. This is about doing the work, self-transformation, right? Third eye awakening. Um, Man, and interestingly, this monk has um, a specific mudra, which he's doing this symbol. And if I remember correctly, this is the symbol of the teacher, right? Teaching. So in all of this, you are to just remain present, to go quiet, and just allow universe to be your teacher, to give you downloads, to give you guidance on how to move forward, just in life and then also in this connection. Okay. Um, Anything else you want me to recognize, Spirit? I think that's it, you guys. Um, any special messages for my divine masculines from divine feminine? So messages coming through are just to find peace. Find a way to get to peace. Find a way to get to the water. Get quiet. Find your sacred space. Get quiet. I still love you. I still think of you often. I'm still here for you. Self-care. Remember to take care of yourself. And be well. Okay? All right. That's all I have for you today. I hope it resonates. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to check the description box to find out more about the books I've authored on Amazon.com and how to attend one of my upcoming workshops or events. Or um, I'm saying or because even if it's not so much just the events, you can also check out my new business, which is Little Buddha Lounge. And you can check that out at littlebuddhalounge.com. We are an oxygen bar. And there's also something else underway, a really wonderful surprise, but I won't spoil it now. So you can check us out there again, littlebuddhalounge.com. You can check out musingmagic.net if you'd like to schedule a personal reading with me or a personal healing. Um, I think that's it. But again, everything will be down there in the description box. So remember, in all you're getting, get understanding. Remember that love is the highest vibration of all, and that love brings change. Okay. But most importantly, be well. Optimal levels of health and wholeness to you. Okay. Until next time, I love you. Bye.